Testing real quick. Y'all can hear me, right? We good to go? Let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear real quick. OCO, everyone. Yeah, I just wanted to test the mic out real quick to make sure we straight. Loud and clear? All right, perfect, perfect.
OCO, free thinkers. OCO, free thinkers. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up.
Okay, let me do this real quick. Let me do it real quick. So, cause I know we about to get right into it. So, where is it at? There you go. Let me go ahead. Okay. All right. I know it's late. I had other things I had to do earlier. Shout out to you, and you. Who up in the building? OCO Imani, OCO Blue Dreamer. Okay, yeah. We just gotta make sure it wasn't hold on, let me double check to make sure that's not on we should be good now. Yeah, night back catching up, cause alright, so let me do these shout outs real quick so we can get in it. So shout out to BX in the building. Beaumont, Texas in the building. Duval in the building. Oh, Sikachu. Chi-Town in the building. Yeah. ATL in the building. Florida in the building. Tampa in the building. Baltimore in the building. Philly in the building. Jersey in the building. San Diego in the building. Jacksonville, Florida. Duval is in the building. New York in the building. West Palm Beach, Florida in the building. Clearwater, Florida here, heavy. Mobile, Alabama, what up? Birmingham, Alabama, what up? Hey, Dominican Republic, what up? Seattle, Washington, Texas in the building. Charleston, North Carolina. Atlanta in the building. ATL, what up? Bronx, what up? Upstate New York, what up? Detroit, I see you. College Park, Georgia here, heavy. Norman, Georgia. Clayton, Alabama, I see you, Alabama. There go LA, what up, Cali? What up, LA? Naptown, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, this beat. Hey, shout out to F16. This beat. Tallahassee, Florida. Florence, Alabama. Jacksonville, Mississippi. Chicago in the building. What up, Levante? Go back. Let me spin that back. Look. Jamaica in the building. Kansas City in the building. Kansas in the building. Delaware in the building. Gary, Indiana in the building. Daytona Beach, Florida in the building. Virginia in the building. East St. Louis in the building. Man. Claymont? What up, Claymont? Florida in the building. Buffalo, Cincinnati, Harrisburg. Man, that's a Port Saint something. It went a little quicker. Hold on, let me go back real quick. Port Saint, Louis, Florida. Lucy, I see it now, Lucy. Memphis in the building. CO, what's going on, Paulette? Indianapolis in the building. What up, Kansas City? Connecticut in the building. I see you, Hartford. Orlando, Florida. Houston, H-Town in the building. Louisville, Kentucky in the building. St. Louis in the building. Look. All right. Riley, I see you. Hold up. Let me go ahead and get this thing started right now. Stop. Hold up. Let me get this started right now, real quick. Let me do it real quick.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
This brother, he is raising some serious questions.
He's here to make you think.
What I'm trying to do is get our people to understand that we have been lied to all the way around about our history. Can you name any other group of people, no matter their skin complexion, that are being labeled primarily as the name of two continents? Not two countries, two continents.
It's up.
That is called a misnomer, which is the act of applying a wrong name to some person or thing.
The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
I want y'all to check out somebody named Dane Calloway.
Dane Calloway?
Look into Dane Calloway. He has a lot of information about how this whole shit was told in reverse. Okay? Where they say, oh, we came from Africa over here. No, a lot of us was already here.
And information that was put together by a man by the name of Dane Calloway, who is also questioning the slave trade. And he's done some remarkable videos on the history of the slave trade in the United States. And he's gone back down the food chain and gone back down the line, and he's realized that a lot of the so-called African Americans in the United States are not African at all. They're actually Native Americans, because the slave trade did not happen the way we were told that it happened.
It's Dane Calloway.
Go and watch this man's channel, man. This dude is phenomenal.
I'm not saying African American because they're not African American. They're the Aboriginals because they were the true Native Americans.
Set it on fire.
They're the copper colored race. Look up Dane Calloway and watch his fucking shows. That man, Dane Calloway on YouTube, oh my God. He is fucking beyond brilliant. The research he does, whoo, he goes way deep into this shit.
Relax and take notes.
It's Dane Calloway on I'm Just Here to Make You Think Radio.
Yeah. All right. You know how we do. We gotta do that thing right there. Gotta do that thing right there. One more.
Produced by Dane Calloway and Tanisha Calloway. Watch this brand new documentary, Mother Rosa, right now at DaneMakeYouThink.com.
Fire documentary, by the way. Fire documentary.
Set it on fire.
All right, let's do it. Oh, wait, hold up. That is not what I meant to play. Hold on. Hey. Okay. Hey, wait a minute. Hold up. Hey, you gotta be from the city to understand, though. Okay. Hey. Hey. All right, look, stop. That ain't what I meant to play. Hold up. That's what I meant to play. All right. Yeah, I'm from the city, so, the city had to. But anyway, All right, so tonight's topic, I actually went over this. Yeah, that was T.O.B. Shout out to T.O.B. Take over, boys. I went over this last night inside of the 13% community server, and luckily I recorded that. And so what I'm going to do is play that for y'all. I'm going to be playing that for y'all. And at the same time, I'm going to be playing these articles like where y'all can see it. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to switch screens. I'm going to zoom in and y'all be able to see how that's, linking up. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm from the city. Hey, shout out to DC. Shout out to Maryland. Shout out to Virginia. But I'm DC to the fullest. I'm so DC, it's my initials. All right, let me set it up real quick. We about to get to going. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. It's pretty lengthy, but I'm gonna follow up at the end. Here we go. Okay, good. All right. Now, I was going to go live on the main channel about this earlier today, but so much information was coming in at one time that actually stopped me from doing what I had to do today, too, because I had to do a couple things. But, I've been up for a while. So keep in mind, this was yesterday.
Because I was investigating this to find out why that was happening right now. Like, why are they promoting like it's a global outage as if everybody's out? I knew something was wrong. Because if you could recall, I don't know if you guys, it depends on your news station. I'm not sure if they were covering it where you guys are located, but the global outage, where they said global outage, that terminology started popping up last week. Okay. And that's what made me, I was like, nah, something not right with this. Why are they saying global outage? But they're trying to make it seem like everybody, like I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now if it was a global outage. But now, okay, so let me explain what's going on here real quick. Some of you may be familiar with, if you were following me on Twitter, I was telling everybody to not update their Windows computer. And by the way, there's more to it than just this. But I was telling you guys not to update your Windows computer or your cell phones, and I'm gonna explain why here in a sec. If you have your auto updates on your computers, like if you have a Windows computer, I tried to check to see if this is affecting Apple. I don't have anything on Apple. I'm not trying to say Apple's fine, but just to be sure, still take off the automatic updates. And it's a reason why, because they're going to put it on this one particular company called CrowdStrike. But I'll explain. So anyway, so Windows.
Shout out the system.
The reason why I'm telling you not to update your Windows devices is because right now there's a company called CrowdStrike that has been dealing with the cybersecurity of Windows. They handle all those security updates that you will see on your computer. Now, come to find out here recently, was it earlier today or yesterday? I believe it was yesterday to be on the safe side. CrowdStrike went down. CrowdStrike is still down, by the way. I'm looking at the current updates as we speak. CrowdStrike went down. And this was forcing airlines to ground. This was forcing major train lines. Like I got the word from DC that Metro went down earlier today. Metro Transit went down earlier today. I think they're back online, but that I can't confirm that just yet. But it was them planes were forced to ground, and it was something. Oh, and all like people like at the DMV, anybody that's dealing with Windows as their main system, corporate or personal, went down based off of this one update that came through here recently. Like I said, it was either earlier today or yesterday that affected everybody's computer to the point where the computer blue screened and can never return back to normal.
By the way, it was yesterday
because that update infected some of the Windows systems capability of bringing it back to its normal routine. Like even when you try to, like how you go back to restore points,
It's not allowing it to return back to a restore point. Now,
and
that's
it's still
big
happening
deal,
right now.
because that's not your we just sent out a bad patch. That's a Trojan. That's a hack. That's a hack. I'm gonna be real. I could go ahead and state that, because the reason why I'm saying that is because a security software update is not supposed to prevent you from restarting your Windows. I'm not sure if they're gonna ever come out and state this, but I believe CrowdStrike got hacked. Okay, but let me go into more detail what I'm talking about here. There's other companies that are affected by this right now, and hold on, I'm about to pull it up right now. There's more than just like Windows per se. A lot of other people have been, of course, Xboxes, Microsoft, they're out. Chase Bank, a lot of the banks are down. Visas, Bank of America, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon is up. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. A couple of cable companies are down. YouTube is up. Instagram is up. Amazon is up. Twitter is up. Wells Fargo is up. And Google is up. Google did have some trouble. Hold up, but they're up. Delta Airlines is still down. A lot of these banks are down, except for Bank of America. It looked like Bank of America is back.
So keep in mind, I was looking at it live yesterday. This recording was yesterday.
USPS is down. Like, their systems are down. But okay, let me go to Verizon. Maybe even AT&T, guys. I'm not sure, because I'm sure AT&T got more money to kind of fix that situation. The reason why, remember I talked about this before as far as a cyber, I didn't really say it per se. I didn't use those words, but I was trying to alert people before in numerous videos or live streams that something is happening. Something is brewing up to stop all communication. This has to deal with your banks as well. Because, for example, if you're trying to get some money out of the bank is going to need the internet, or the ATM rather, is going to need the internet.
I appreciate that,
This is much larger than Microsoft. This is much larger than banks going down. This is much, much larger than planes forced to ground, because they said their communications went out. Y'all remember my videos on that? The only way that's going to happen is when signals cross.
Man, I've been trying to tell y'all.
I was hoping that I wasn't going to find anything. I'm jumping ahead now, but I found something.
Lucky, thank you for becoming a member.
The global tech outages, as far as last week is concerned, as far as that, being brought up, like, you can look this up. But the reason why that was brought up, like that terminology was being used, like that phrase, hey, it's a global outage, global tech outage. And it started last week, and we just hearing about it today, was because come to find out, London is under attack. Are y'all familiar with this?
Listen.
There's multiple race riots currently happening that started last week, and it is still ongoing today. Race riots. And they do not want these videos out. Now, I'm seeing the videos as we speak. I'm not sure if it's because of that soccer game. I saw a couple people say that, but I'm not sure. But it's in Whitechapel, where it started in Whitechapel, London, and I'm about to grab the other place real quick. And you should see what these places look like. Hare Hills, Leeds is the other place. They're saying there's over $3 million of damage so far. Places are burning up, people getting stabbed to death, and they're saying it's due to the whites. Well, the race riots is between the whites that are out there and people of Bangladesh.
Relax
now,
and take notes.
I guess y'all can tell me if that has to do with the soccer game, but god damn, they doing all this because of a soccer game? Like the videos that I have, people burning up places, people rioting. I got videos of people getting stabbed. They don't care if they're being recorded. The police can't control them. Like the police presence is there, but they're not able to. But this has been happening for an entire week already. Now, all of a sudden, now we hear that they have been out as far as their tech over there for about, I think it was about a week and a half now.
Listen to the connection.
They're trying to force stop, people. I'm actually looking at more videos. Yeah, they're trying to force stop people from posting these videos online. And, people are stating, UK has fallen. London is fallen. These are the reports that we do not see. And of course, I'm not sure if the news is ever going to cover this.
It's up.
Leaders turn a blind eye to Islamic takeovers of London. Like, yeah, it's mainly, and I hate to say it this way, it's mainly brown people versus white people out there. Like, fighting, killing, like, straight up. It's horrific events happening right now. And I have video after video after video. That's another reason why I didn't hop, skip, and jump to go live, because based off of what I was seeing, I was like, damn, I know YouTube ain't gonna let that fly. I'm still gathering more information.
Keep in mind, this was yesterday.
Now that I know that the global outage has been out for a long time now. Now they're saying global. Okay, so this means it's supposed to be affecting everybody else. Now, I do know that Skynet, which is a news station, has been down. They said they've been down for about a week where they couldn't broadcast.
Skynet is back up now.
I'm still trying to figure out if they're able to get back online.
They're up now.
But certain police stations went down. Certain hospitals went down. Out here, now I'm talking about the United States. Certain police stations, certain banks, certain hospitals. Now they said emergency services are still working, like meaning you can still dial 911.
Some of them went down though, but they came back up.
Let's just put everything in the context here. What does that sound like? That sound like something else to me. Thank goodness, everybody is like, I'm still able to communicate with you. I don't know who's out as far as, like, if I was to go live, will people be able to hear the message? Like, look, don't update your phones, don't update your computers. At least not right now.
Still don't do that.
Until CloudStrike get a chance to come back online from whatever.
Still do not update your phones or computers.
To me, it sounds like they got hacked. But it's bigger than just that. It's bigger than the CloudStrike and the Microsoft situation. Multiple things are being affected. And I'm not trying to state that they have Windows systems with all of these places. But I mean, okay, for example, why are ATMs going out? Like, would that be considered a Windows system? Is CloudStrike the security behind that? Now, I know that they're a large corporation. I'm not denying that they could be, but I'm talking about news stations, banks, ATMs, back to back to back to back. They ground in flights because of communicate. I know for a fact that they don't have Windows. Why are planes being grounded? Because they can't communicate. Like, they're not dependent on Microsoft. Like, what are you talking about? They're on a totally different spectrum. If anything, their frequency can be crossed, and that could be dangerous to the point where they can't communicate. And then trains on top of that, something not right here. Now, me personally, I'm not the, what they would call the conspiracy theorist type of person, but I do look into conspiracies. And of course, I write down my theories. I mainly keep it to myself. But when I see something edging on, I kind of give a fair warning. And I usually do, like, yo, look out for this, watch out for that. Be prepared for this. And when I do that, I also give a statement like, yo, I'm not trying to, bring this information to you guys to scare you. I'm trying to bring this information to you guys to fair warn you, to make you aware of what's going on, especially when I realize that it's not being shared like amongst your local news stations. On top of that, it can affect like how you go about, your daily life. Because, we talking banks, transportation. Some of y'all may have to take the plane. I'm looking out for your well-being. Now, is it all because they don't want to cover all this stuff that's going on in London? I can't conclude that. But I do see that terminology, the global outage, that was all happening simultaneously as all of this, the rioting happening. They call it the EID riot. And I said, okay, this could be the reason why they didn't want, videos to come out, and mainly London is blacked out or UK is blacked out and we're not. But we are being, canceled at. Certain parts of the United States are affected. A cybersecurity company goes down. And it trickles down to like it's a domino effect and knock a whole rack of other people out. I don't like that. I don't. That's iffy to me.
And they still out, by the way.
I'm not making any conclusions or anything like that as far as like, okay, what it could be. I'm just seeing I'm just going by what I can see. Just like anybody else would if they could see it in front of them. Is anything else on the horizon? I wouldn't want it to be to a point where our people are unprepared. Our people are not prepared for any, like these pictures that I'm seeing. For example, I'm mad I'm about to go here, but I'm gonna go here for a second. Let me go here for a second. Based off of the images and the videos that I'm seeing, the people of Bangladesh are brown, straight up. And they not fighting nobody else but white folk. Now, I did see a trend pop off on Twitter because somebody DM'd it to me. It was a trend that popped off recently, and it was weird because if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was last week when this trend started, where the so-called black people of London was talking about, and matter of fact, is going back to that soccer game. But they were showing how the white people out there in the UK or London or whatever are racist toward them, to the point where they was like, give it to the nigga. They were saying, if you want to score, give it to the nigga. I saw a video of a group of white people at a bar. They're saying that it's in London. Apparently they got an accent. Crowds of drunk white people screaming, give it to the black, or no, what'd they say? No, if it was like almost a song. If you want to win, give it to the black man then, or something like that. It was something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I never thought nothing of it to the point where I was like, hold on, let me take a look at that and pay attention. So that's why when the person brought up, is it because of the soccer game? I can't rule that out because I did see those videos and it was a trend. It was more than one place in the UK or where that was happening. And I do recall that, seeing that video of that particular incident inside of a bar when they were watching that soccer game. But the guy that I saw that was talking about the racism out there, okay, it was a follow-up video to that. Somebody responded to that. I believe it was a woman. Was like, that stuff over there that's happening with y'all wouldn't happen over here. Y'all got to do something about it. Y'all got to stand up and fight, right? But then turn around, we seeing a whole bunch of Bangladesh people. I mean, yeah, they brown, but it was a difference between the so-called black person that you showed me and these Bangladesh people.
It's go time, Slim.
Now they standing up to fight. Now I remember that girl that she was responding in the video. She said that because if they tried to pull that move out here, see, Americans got guns. And then I was like, wait a minute. That's the part that kind of threw me off because I was like, wait a minute, is that what this is all about? Like, do people want to see a race riot happen over here again? We went through this before. And I know they say history repeat itself, but that's only if you allow it. I'm talking about multiple. I had family members in those race riots, multiple race riots over here. And you talking about bad. I'm talking about from adults to children. It was horrible, historically speaking. Now, at this day and age, if that was to occur again, it's going to be a lot of people dying. Like what they doing based off of the videos that I'm seeing right now as I'm speaking to y'all, what they doing out in UK right now wouldn't be nothing compared to what could happen if something like that was to happen out here. But I just want people to be prepared for certain things like that because you'll never know. You'll never know. It could be a neighbor that you've been neighbors with for 15 years. God forbid there's out of food and come knocking on your door because they know you cook and they want something. It's either you gonna be nice or you gonna be to the point where, nah, I gotta feed my family, get off my front. Because it's either that or they're gonna take over you when they see that you can't protect yourself. Of course, they were giving these types of messages throughout many movies. Y'all can start naming them. But just think about that. The way this world is horrible. Not everybody inside of this world got a beautiful mindset. I try to state affirmations when I speak to you guys, when I do post in here and call you guys beautiful people. But let's be real. Not a lot of the people are beautiful inside of this world. But dang, people can change. Yeah, but when they get good and ready. Like, I don't got time for a person to change. I don't have time for a person to change, and neither should you. You shouldn't sit back and wait. But to go back to what I was saying, based off of the videos that I could see, this is still ongoing right now. It has not stopped. That's out there in the UK.
Keep in mind, this was yesterday and it's still going
started
on.
That race ride over there led them to the point where they can't actually access the internet the way they, to spread the message, right? Right. Again, I just don't want anything to happen like that. But just say, for example, Donald Trump was killed. That could entice the race riot. That could have sparked up a riot. Let's be real. Regardless if we think it's real or staged or whatever, it doesn't matter. If he was dead, that would have started something. Hands down. Right? Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And based off of what I can see, I can tell y'all right now, they saying that Biden may step down on Sunday.
Tomorrow.
Again, I can't confirm that, but based off of the resources or the sources that I see, they're saying, okay, his family is now asking him to step down. It's so bad. In some meeting or whatever they just had, some news report, some lady walked up to Biden and Biden thought that was his wife, all up on her, and y'all should see that video. It's horrible.
It is.
Then his wife had to walk up and take his hand, and it's real bad now. Oh my God. That's just like me going to a grocery store, right? And not to be funny here, but I'm gonna insert some funniness real quick just to let y'all know. That's just like me going to the grocery store with my wife. And she asked me to go get some bread or something in the bread aisle, and I come back to the wrong aisle. Some girl that looked like my wife from behind, I walk up on her and slap her butt. She turn around, and I'm like, just think about that situation, right? Joe Biden was just in that situation, but Joe Biden saw the lady. He was looking directly at her. So now they're stating, the reports that I saw is that his family is asking Biden to step down. I mean, if you was to ask me, what do you think about this, Dane? I don't think Biden is real. I really think Biden been gone a long time ago. I think this is a circus show. Now, when I saw Trump, okay, here's another thing I'm gonna share with y'all. I didn't get a chance to share with y'all. I'm gonna get off this political side in a second, but I'm just saying, I still don't like, because it still relate. I don't like how things are going, but I saw Trump at the RNC. I sort of, we watched it. He don't look the same. His demeanor, his speech, his energy, his look. And I was like, yo, and my screen, that's an 85-inch TV down there. And I was like, young, that I don't look like Trump. This look like a totally different person. This looked like Trump, but he looked different. He's more pale. It looked like I'm not trying to be funny, but it looked like his lips were crusty. He looked dead. He didn't look, I'm not talking about just energetic characteristic wise. I'm just talking about the physical look. He wasn't as orange. He looked super pale. And I was like, young, but what is going on? And then I thought about Dick Gregory. I thought about Unc right away. And I said it out loud. I said, babe, Unc did say it was two Trumps. And I never understood why he said that, to be honest with you, until I saw that video yesterday. And I was like, man, this is a whole nother reason why we shouldn't be having these people over 65 as president. I think the age limit should be cut at 65. Real talk. Between 40 to 65. That's why I ain't gonna lie, I was super excited that he hired somebody around my age, or basically, to let him know, hey, what's his name? Vance? He not even 40 years old. Like, okay, you VP. Because, god damn, bro. Like, I was like, Biden is, of course, I think Biden gone, but what? Whoever this person is playing Biden is making it's just, they knew this though. That's another thing. It's not like we ain't know this. Everybody knew this. This same type of movement, the attitude, the slur in the speech, sentences not making sense, dots not connecting. Ever since he been in office, everybody was full aware of this. But no, it was like, let's go, Brandon. The whole entire time. I was like, y'all, okay, but anyway. Let's just say that's what that was all about as far as a failed attempt on Trump, okay? Here's another thing. How do we know they won't do it again? How do we know they won't do it again? Now, and I want people to think about that. How would you react? Now, I'm gonna be good with it, Dane. Like, I don't care, it's whatever, woo, woo, woo. And but all right, so okay, so think about this. How you think other people would react? Would they be in the streets, burning stuff up and tearing it up? Because think about it, when they took out Martin Luther King, I was about to say Malcolm X. When they took out Martin Luther King, woo, they were going ham. Now that's when you actually see Niji out in the street destroying shit. But it's a whole lot of white folk that's behind Trump, and black, so-called black, that's behind Trump. And if Trump die, and they think Trump is God, they take their God from him. What are you prepared to do? Whatever motive or whatever agenda they put out there to try to spark the people to, or rather entice people to kill each other. Because if you think about it, the so-called elites, those 1% elite, they sitting back watching. They funding both sides because the less people that they have to worry about, the less problems. That's how they looking at it. Again, their main goal was to just control a few large corporations, depopulate the population, bring it down to a minimum, and move everybody to the outskirts so they can have the inner cities once again, inner cities and towns and fields. I'm watching large corporations buy up acres and acres and acres of land. I'm watching large corporations change up the menus. And what I mean by that is that food is not being produced the same way. They're including certain other things. Like, for example, when they say that this food is non-GMO, right? They slap a label on it. Do we believe them? If they was giving us GMO food, I'm just as an example, small example. If they was giving us GMO food before, what makes you believe that they're not doing it now? Just because they slapped a label on it.
Right.
The Food and Drug Administration has approved things that's not good for our people.
And
it has been approving things that are not good for our people ever since its inception.
Yep.
Can we trust the FDA?
Nope.
I'm talking about, can we trust any of these alphabets?
Nope.
All of them. Because if you think about it, if the object of their 2030 agenda, their main objective was to, again, depopulate and control and have a formal one government under control, it will make things easier if all they had to do was flick a switch, allow the people to kill each other, and the rest of the people that survive, they'll kill slowly. Vaccines, food.
I had to cut that.
Drugs. Look, even get them mentally. Television programs, music, movies. It's purposely being done to drive the person crazy to the point where they won't care about their life anymore. For example, the alleged shooter, Thomas Crooks, was 20 years old. What in the world? 20? They still trying to gather more intel as to the reason why that happened. What was his motive? Still to this day, they don't know. Finally, they putting out the report that his parents was warning the police that something could be happening. Something is spewing up. Their son is not the same. Oh, he took a gun that was in my safety box and I had just bought those bullets a couple months ago, is what the father said. But think about that. If you living with the parents, then where they get that from? Because technically that's still a child. It's not like he was living out on his own, paying his own bills, working his own job. He was listening to the parents. So why are they not being held responsible? Woo! The father's gun, the father's bullets, the father and mother's household. Why are they not being held responsible? Hate has to be taught. Guaranteed he's getting that from the household. If I teach my children to hate a group of people, they're going to hate that group of people to the point where they will probably do something to that group of people. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. I can hear it now. That father probably was saying F Trump the whole way and, oh man, they need to. And then it don't make it any better when you hearing multiple Democrats saying that Trump needs to be eliminated. They got to do this. I wish I could punch him in the face. I wish they could enticing what they call political violence. So again, it's not, and look, and Republicans do it too, and ain't no one side better than the other. They still the same people. So when you think about it, who is your enemy? It's Satan, Dane, but okay, for example, when people say that it's Satan, right? Satan has minions, correct? Minions will go out and do their job for them. Whatever agenda that Satan wants to accomplish, they have little demonic minions out there to do the job, right? Who are those people? The ones that's against God, Dane. But remember, God made you in its reflection. You are a reflection of God. So wait a minute now. So if demonic minions are out there because they're against God, let that sink in for a second. You know, of course, they're going to be against God in the spiritual, but what about God in the physical? That's you. That's you. Dane, I don't look at it that way. Lean not to your own understanding. This is the reason why you say, okay, well, this person my enemy, that person my enemy. It's real easy to slap it on a group of people versus breaking it down to what it really is. Individually. For example, a lot of people was like, it's all white people that did this wrong to us. When I started coming out on the scene, I told everybody, I said, your enemy does not have a set skin complexion. Here's why. Because it's not about the skin that makes them evil. It's about what's within that makes them evil. Woo! People don't want to look at it that way. Why? It was because how they were raised. Again, it goes back on the parent with that. When your mother, father in the household telling you that it was the white man this, the white man that, the blah, 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 and you never got an opportunity to look upon the situation for yourself firsthand, to actually do the research to see what was going on. Right. Why? Because you're going to believe mom and pop. You love them, they love you. Out of respect, but if they really loved you enough, they would have told you, look, baby, listen, we could see that the person that did this was that, but we could also see that the person that did this was black. So you had one white, one black, this one is this one is that, whatever. Okay, that's a try. But not all households, especially our communities, are looking at it that way. We just think automatically that our enemy is the opposite color, skin complexion. But this is how you divide the people. That's why I don't like things that are put out there that divides the people. For example, we got a favorite basketball team. We got a favorite football team. No, that's something slight, Dane. That's something slight. All right, so we got a favorite designer of clothing. We got a favorite place to go eat. No, Dane, that's something slight. All right, okay, well now, you know, I mean, the only certain groups of people can relate to this religion. Certain groups of people can relate to that religion. You can't call that light. Woo! The reason why is because now when we get to the religious aspect, they have a God that they look up to. Ooh. They have a tradition that they practice religiously. And if they see another form of religion go against their religious belief, that's division. Automatically. It doesn't even matter if it's a part of any denomination of Christianity. It's still going to be separation there. Anytime when my belief and your belief is debatable, that causes friction, that causes division. Our people don't see that that's being done by design. Our people are blind, thinking that this lasted for eons before we were even created. They thinking it was 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 years old. Like this was thousands of years old. No, it's not. The history of division, yes, existed for thousands of years, but not your belief. Again, it goes back to how you're taught to hate. But God is about love, Dane. Okay. Then God is supposed to be loving everybody, no matter which religion they practice or which religion they choose, right? But name a religion that does that. Name any part of the denominations of Christianity where they'll say, turn around and say, well, I'm gonna love my Muslim brother, for example. Name them. Our God is Jesus, their God is Allah. We still brothers and sisters. Name them.
Oh, remember this
part. That causes division. That friction is there. And again, those 1%, the ones that think they so-called elite, just sitting back watching, because they're capitalizing or for something that did exist, that pre-exist over time, and they were already in position due to their so-called forefathers to capitalize off of people's hate for each other. I'm based off of their own belief. It's sad. To use me as an example, I'm a great person. I know I'm a great person. Some of y'all may believe that I'm a great person too. Keep in mind, I said may believe, because there's other people out there that also may believe the same thing. But then there's other people out there that believe that they hate me based off of my belief. Listen to that. Whatever happened to agree to disagree? That's non-existent. Why would I force it down somebody's throat? Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what I may believe, right? That don't mean you gotta believe it, because a belief is an opinion. Here's my take on that. Here's my opinion, right? You don't gotta believe that. I tell people that all the time when I'm giving my opinion. Like, for example, that Trump situation. I said, some of y'all gonna believe that it's real, some of y'all gonna believe that it's staged. What did Dane say? I believe that it was planned. It was already pre-planned, predetermined. Dane, that's the same thing as staged. It depends on how you look at the term stage. Yes, because in order for you to set the stage, you have to plan. Any goal that you want to achieve, you got to plan. See? That's why I said planned, not staged. But that don't mean that you got to agree with me. Some people out there, but Dane, I thought you was this way. You were agent. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. So I guess that's your way to tell me that you disagree. Should we argue and fuss and fight over that? No. I'm not Trump, neither are you. You may be for Trump. I'm not for none of that political nonsense. Well, why are you saying something about it, Dane? Because it's happening. You saw it, I saw it. I want to state my opinion on it. Again, you're going to state your opinion about me, right? Everybody got a right to have their own opinion about something, right? But that doesn't necessarily make it true. But they rioting in the streets right now in London, UK, because of that. Race riots is based off an opinion. Historically, we know that.
Right.
All the race riots that happen over here based off of somebody's opinion. Their
hey,
belief.
I'm on
believe
fire.
The Negroes shouldn't be here with us. We should have our own schools. What's wrong with their schools? Some of y'all may disagree with that, but I'm going to be real. I agree with that. Why in the hell we needed to be with them white folks? Why?
When we had our own.
Because they got a better education, Dane. Really? You think so? You really think that those white folks was getting a better education than us? Yeah. The reason why you wrong is because I was in the school with them white folks and we got taught the exact same thing. They saved the liberal education for 1% of the people, not the rest of the 99.
Yep.
Again, that goes to show you that they don't care about your skin complexion, but you do.
Woo!
That's not what our enemy is worried about. Matter of fact, they're not worried about anything. They take your worries and turn it against you and make it your armor that you think you may have. And if anybody try to penetrate your armor, they go to war. There shouldn't be no reason why I'm seeing these videos right now of these places being burnt up, cars being flipped, people on their cell phones, people getting stabbed and killed, like on cell phone. This is horrible. Colored and white. For what?
For no
Young
reason.
and old. What is this? What is that going to prove?
Nothing.
What is the conclusion? What will be the end result of that? Peace? But here's the problem with that. Peace only comes after a war. But a war consists of many battles.
Right.
So you can't call it a war just because you see 3 or 4 different race riots. Those are battles. A war is not won until there are no more battles.
Right.
That's when you receive peace. But if the battles are constantly existing, the war is going to continue. The only time you're going to see peace is if you have peace amongst yourself.
Right.
Peace between a group of people. The only way that's going to happen when there's no division. Realistically. When there's no division. But division exists for that reason. So people in general won't ever have peace. These governments want one government to always keep the people under control, under their control. Not at ease, always on edge. At any given moment, they will jump. Whatever the government may put out there to make it look as if it is one thing, they'll jump. That's a telltale sign of a weak mind. Somebody that is not in control of themselves. And there's a lot of people out there that can't control themselves mentally. And what I mean by that is their mind.
Their mind. Yep.
The most important thing. Yeah, they could control their arms, they could control their feet, but they can't control their mind. They allow strangers to do the thinking for them. That's a hiccup. That's a mishap. That's multiple steps back. And it's unfortunate that that's reality. And people in the streets, yeah, woo, tossing up beer cans and all the rest of it. I'm looking at these videos. That's embarrassing.
I agree.
You think you got something accomplished by rioting? That's a statement they making, Dane. To who? Or what we gonna say? Pray for those people? Pray for the people in the streets losing the innocent people.
Losing their lives
for no reason. Your belief is what I'm against. I'm gonna take your life. That's not how it works. These people are thinking with a governed mind. And that's why I wanted to warn the people to go back to the original topic as far as this so-called global outage. Like, that's how you know something is wrong right there. It's not a global outage. Again, if I'm able to talk to you and you able to hear me, how is it a global out or tech outage? Yeah, certain things, have been affected, but global tech outage? Why are you why are you stating that? Because that's an affirmation. They want that to be in the atmosphere.
Right.
So that can become reality.
Right.
Again, remember I said that terminology was being used last week and we had no idea. But now all of a sudden when it pop up on our side, but Dane, did you see Microsoft go down? Yeah, I see all that, but hold up. They're saying global outage. We're communicating.
Right.
Yeah, but oh no. And see all that negative. See this, look at that divide part. That's divide and conquer.
Right there.
Because once you put your energy behind it.
Right.
I try not to doubt certain people as far as their attention span and their hearing capabilities. I mean, and comprehending what I'm stating. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, man, I had some doubts about stating this part right here. When you start stating these affirmations, and see people turn their nose up. If it ain't about Jesus or God or blah, they turn their nose up as soon as you think, see how the divide happened? They immediately shut it off, thinking I'm talking about I'm against their God or blah, 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 I'm against their religious. It ain't about that. It's not. That is a chant. They're trying to make that happen.
Right.
They want that to happen. When I'm telling you it's not happening, that should be alarming. Because why would they call it that? No other areas have came out and stated, oh, this is out, that is out. No. What you mean global?
Right.
That is a negative affirmation. But apparently those so-called elites, higher up, whatever you want to, the small hats, whatever y'all call it, they want that to happen. They want that to happen because if you take away someone's money, means of transportation,
communication,
means to survive.
Yep.
Just saying, just think about all the things that they were so-called attacking, just lining up, things shutting down, this shutting down. You take all that away, what will happen? What would you do? Okay, all right now, and then what would you think that other people would do?
Ooh.
Are you prepared for them?
Right.
Okay, for example, when you're taught how to drive, the number one thing, at least from what I was told, is you could be a good driver, but the number one thing that you gotta watch out for the other driver is the other driver. It's not necessarily you, it's all about the other person.
Right.
You watch out for the other drivers, right? Because ain't no telling what they gonna do. Drive for everybody. Drive for everybody. But listen to that. Listen to that meaning. Take away the vision that you just had of you behind a vehicle. But keep the vision of you behind the wheel, but just take away the vehicle. Or replace that vehicle with your body. As your
actual
vehicle. Okay.
And they tell you to drive for everybody else. Now look at it this way. I want you to start driving for yourself. Look how I'm reversing it. The reason why is because if you drive for yourself, look after yourself, you won't ever have to worry about nobody else. I'm talking about besides your loved ones, besides the people that are there inside your household. But if you put yourself first, still, that's still
the point.
If you put yourself first.
That's the point.
That's what I'm getting at. Control. That's coming back up again. You in control. You behind the steering wheel. But yeah, that lesson was, you drive for everybody else, but it all depends on you, your awareness, your capabilities. But what I mean by awareness, situational awareness, capabilities. If you're able to swerve out of the way of danger, are you paying attention to the mirrors? You paying attention to the front, the back, the sides, your blind side being monitored. You got the ancestors surrounding you. Some of y'all may say the angels surrounding you. Like, how are you? Are you one with yourself? It's still going back to you. That's how I look at it. But that's how you can tell the difference between the real and fake. And I love people that do this now. I'm not the only one. I moved off of the vibe, the spiritual vibe. Some of y'all may say that's your conscious. It's a part of your conscious. I agree. But they also say let your conscience be your guide, right? So if you walk into a bar and you get that bad vibe, are you going to stay there just because you thirsty? Or you going to look out for yourself and say, nah, this ain't it. I'm out. If you know your turn is coming up and you getting off of that highway, you trying to get off of the highway, that's the turn that you got to make. But you get that feeling like, nah, I'm not supposed to be turning right there at that time for that reason. You take the next exit, come back down, and you see that an accident happened. And if you was to take that first exit, you would have been a part of it. What about that? When you know what you're doing is wrong, but you're doing it anyway, what else you think is going to follow? Wrong.
Yep.
If you want negativity, it's going to come. If you want positivity, it's going to come.
Yep.
Whatever you make your reality. This is the reason why I said you get back into control of you. Because I'm telling you, if everybody was in control of their mindset, they would be thinking differently. That's doing all this rioting out there in London. And people over here like, yo, is this stage the real? And Biden and Trump, all this stuff that we being distracted. It's a whole lot of distractions, goddammit.
Yep.
We being distracted by. The main goal is to be one with yourself. What's best for you? At that point, it is about your belief. What you feel as though is best for you.
Believe in yourself.
It's about how you feel. Especially if you one with yourself, you're going to trust and believe in yourself at that point.
Yep.
Not nobody else. And you don't need nobody help doing that. For you. But yeah, if somebody asks me, do I believe if something is on the horizon? I believe so.
Yeah.
I do.
Unfortunately.
Dane, do you believe something is screwing up? Yeah. I do. A couple years ago, I put out the documents that I gathered from the UN of the 2030 agenda directly from their website.
Yep.
Still and I read off the agenda. And I said, this ain't good. Because, again, they want to do a domino effect to affect the people to the point where they want to, have the people drop to their knees and beg the government for assistance. They see everybody dying around them. And they want, like, for example, right? And I had people in my family pass away because of that stupid shit. That goddamn vaccine.
Yeah.
That was oh man, bro. Oh man, that pissed me off so bad.
Still to this day, pissed me off.
I seen, man, it's people still dying.
Yep.
Because of that goddamn vaccine, man. Still. And people jumped and, oh, I'm scared. And they was trying to make it seem like it was airborne. And I said, listen, y'all, they never mentioned it was airborne. They inadvertently told you that the heat take it away.
Yep.
Why are y'all wearing masks? Then I showed you on the back of the little tub of the Clorox bleach wipes says that it kills 99% of the coronavirus.
Yep.
I had to do a video and show y'all like, yo, they trying to scare y'all. And they scared everybody. Not everybody, but a lot. And guess what? That caused division.
It
the
did.
Vaxxed and non-vaxxed,
Yep.
right?
That was division.
See?
Look at the tactic. It worked the same way. Even had the media behind it. Now, if you're not vaxxed, you blah, 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 but you cannot force nobody to take anything. That's their vessel. That's their vehicle. That's their body.
Big facts.
That's just like you coming up to me and trying to hand me some crack and force me to take it. Bitch, if you don't get that shit out my face, no, it's gonna be good for your body. Then you take it, nigga. You take it. Got the doctors and nurses.
Yeah.
Forcing you to take it.
Yeah.
And they knew it was wrong. And how they got the doctors and nurses on board? They threatened their lives, didn't they?
Yep.
We gonna take your job away. You ain't gonna be able to feed your family. Look how they do. And all of this correlate. Everything that I'm talking about, we've seen it time after time after time. When are people gonna get tired of that? Take control over themselves. And then we could come together and take control over everything as a people that already got control of themselves.
Yep.
When is that gonna happen? I'm waiting for you.
I'm waiting on that.
Everybody like, man, we waiting for a leader. We waiting for a leader. Step up. Dang, you should be a leader. And I'm like, wait a minute. I told y'all, look what they did in the past. They got rid of the ones who they were easily able to point out as a leader, right?
Yep.
I turn around and say, look, all of us got to be leaders. They could take out 50, here come 50 more. And what I mean by that is that you got to be a leader of yourself. You got to be in control of yourself. You got to be able to look in the mirror and lead yourself. You got to be able to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm going to do great for me today, every day.
Big facts.
I'm telling you, to change. If you want to change your life overnight, remember when they say you can't make millionaires overnight? You can have a millionaire type of mentality because everybody think the millionaires is great and they don't got no problems and blah, blah, blah. Yes, the hell they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, the hell they do. Yes, they do. But I mean, you want to, they put that up high. If you're a millionaire, you ain't got to worry about shit. You get to have everything you want and blah, 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 blah. Like that's everything. You can't even take any of that once you leave from this. When you part from this earth, you gonna be able to take any of that?
Nope.
You got to leave that for the rest of your family. It is about creating generational wealth. Don't get me wrong. It is. Keep in mind, generational wealth, not just you being rich. There's a difference between rich and wealthy.
Yep.
Right? I mean, just think about that. If you had a genie right now and the genie grants you 3 wishes, what would it be? Remember, it goes back to the plan. So if you plan it out, like seriously, if you plan it out, map out how you want, what your goal is, right? And how you want to accomplish it. Things can happen for you overnight, but with the things that you're missing was actually stating it out loud, confirming. Like one thing I did like about church that people didn't take full advantage of was the fact that you claim it. You do have to claim it. Claim it. That bill was paid. Now the bill was already paid for. Knowing that bill like 4 months overdue, you said the bill paid for. Next week, the bill paid for. You don't know where it came from. But that does work. Hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. That is an affirmation. The part that works is the affirmation. You are giving the command.
Right.
You are determining what happens. So if you turn around and use that to your advantage, and which I suggest you should, if you want your life to be great, every day you state that out loud. My goals will be met. Matter of fact, my goals are met.
Yep.
And then you write down your goals. You repeat them like 15 times for 15 minutes. Keep it into your mind. Don't forget, practice makes perfect. But in order to practice, something has to repeat. Woo. Listen.
Woo!
Woo! See, that's what I'm talking about. Talk to me like that.
Yeah.
Something has to repeat.
Yeah.
So if you keep repeating it, then it's going to become your reality. Just like they want you to keep repeating a global outage because they want that to become your reality. I hope y'all listening to me.
Right. That's true.
They say karma works in both ways, good and bad, and magic, good and bad. You know the bad side, but what about the good side? Right? What about that good side? Take advantage of the good side, especially if you're a great person. They're trying to make benevolence obsolete. The best way to do that is continue to divide the people by their mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you control your mindset. Whatever you want into your life, you write it down. You chant it. Chant it. Make it a song if need be. I'ma have my big house by the time I turn 34. I'ma have my big house by the time I turn 34. People gonna laugh at you, but the ancestors not. They listening to you, dancing with you and everything. I'ma have my time. Look.
Yep.
Try it. Try it.
100.
I'm not doing that, Dane. Soon as you turn your nose up, it's over. Confidence is out the window. So your words and your actions gotta meet. You gotta be able to, you can't just be like, I'm gonna have my house when I turn 34 and just doubt it automatically. Again, that's negative energy. Negative attracts what? Negativity. You can't, that's not how it's gonna work.
Right.
That's why they say just state it and let it go. But don't just state it and let it go and forget about it.
You gotta keep repeating it.
Stating it.
Yep.
You have to be consistent. You have to be persistent. Keep stating it. I'm gonna have my big house when I turn 34. State it every day, 15 minutes straight. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have that big house by the time you turn 34. Whatever it is that you want. That works with love. That works with children. For those of you that got children, teach them that. That's how they succeed.
I'm speaking from experience.
That's a part of generational wealth. Notice I said rich is different from wealth. It's not all about the money. It's not about funds in bank. It's not about that. Funds in pocket, funds in pocketbook and wallet. The wealthiest thing on you is going to be your mindset. Why do you think they attack it so much? The second most wealthiest thing on you is your heart.
Is your heart.
They attack your mindset and see if you got the heart to put up some defense. The best thing you got is your mindset. Don't let them take that from you. I remember I tweeted the other day, don't let anything take that joy away from you. No matter what it looked like on the outside, it's all about what's in the inside, right?
Yep.
I remember that day I finally took the Black's Law Dictionary, volume 1 out the glass case of the library. And y'all seen how beat up that look, right? But again, it's not about how it may look on the outside.
Right.
Okay? It's about what's in the inside here. And Dane, you paid how much for that? You goddamn right. You
arm and a leg.
Right. I paid an arm for that book. Nobody else would have did that. They would have looked at that book and skipped over it. As soon as I saw that thing, I dropped that money. Whoa. See? Where y'all think y'all donations going? More research, baby. I ain't playing.
Big facts.
I was like, hell no, let me get that right there. Physical, not no digital copy, print off, none of that. Physical. Falling apart. I said, outside, I'm gonna get a glass case. I'll use some gloves if I need to turn pages.
Oh, boy.
I need that. The first edition? Woo, that's hard to come by. Yeah, and I made it come to me too.
Sure did.
And that's another thing. You can make great things come to you by demanding it, not asking. That's one part of religion that need to be tweaked. Don't ask, demand.
Mm-hmm.
See, people turn their nose up and thinking that you're being disrespectful. No, you're not. If you're a reflection of God, then you're the same. Just I can't be the same. Stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting yourself. God turned water into wine. I can't do that, Dane. Did you ask? Or did you demand? Man, I demand I had those same capabilities. You go from selling water to selling wine all of a sudden. As if you want it. Whatever you want. Whatever you desire. Don't let your belief hold you up based off of what you were taught by somebody else. Don't let that pin you down. Don't let that anchor you and hold you stationary. When they say that sky is the limit, no, it's not.
It's not. I can't stand that term.
The sky is I don't like that term. I think that's a negative affirmation as well. How, Dane? Because going up doesn't mean that you got to stop where the sky ends. Ooh. Based off of their description of what the sky is. Keep in mind, sky is the limit. That means there's a limit to the point that you can reach. That's the negative side of it. limiting you to a certain point. I don't like that. You're supposed to go up higher and higher and higher and higher, as high as you want. Why you think our ancestors stated those chants?
Higher.
They were saying higher, weren't they?
Yep.
They were getting higher, weren't they?
Yep.
Look, and then they were getting higher, weren't they? It was both ways. That's a double entendre. If you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They know what they were doing. And they were chanting that a whole way through. Dancing and smiling, and laughter is the highest form of energy. So they added laughter with it, enjoyment, the joy, with chanting higher. You know how powerful that is? Again, you could be to go back to what I said before. You could go back to I'm gonna have my big house when I turn 34 as a music chant, right? Like that's your affirmation, right? Then turn around and stay higher after that and be dancing and laughing, rather. Laughing. Remember how a person say, I'm gonna laugh all the way to the bank?
Yep. Good one.
Do you know what that means? Not necessarily they gonna be laughing all the way to the bank because they got funds. It's because it's more so of a I made it. I already made it. I have no worries. There is nothing to worry about. I made it. This is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm going higher. So you combine all of those at one time. Woo! Oh, I'm trying to tell you, gonna be, hey, now we talking. You combining all of those at one time. Now we talking. I would love for you to do that as a person, individually, no matter how old you are. A lot of people state that I got an old soul. Everybody do.
Yeah.
You walk up on a person, I recognize you. Person be like, yeah, I seen you before. You can't pinpoint what it is. That's your soul recognizing another soul that they seen in another life.
Right.
And it's like we recognize each other like, where I know you from? I don't know. And you can't pinpoint it.
Yeah.
But y'all get that good vibe. Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's your soul recognizing that old soul that's in that other person. Your old soul recognizing that old soul in the other from a past lifetime. Look, this happens constantly on a daily basis. And people still ain't put it together. This goes for animals too. Trees, anything that's living.
Yep.
Not just humans. You could be afraid of a dog and that dog walk up on you and recognize you and want you to touch the dog. The dog automatically get friendly with you because that dog feel comfortable with your spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call it. And you comfortable with that dog's spirit or soul. Automatic. Your old soul recognize their old soul. Or any other animal. Tree too. Flowers, all that. Anything that's living. Dang, I don't believe in all that. It's not about what you may believe. Lean not to your own understanding. That's why I say it's not about what you may believe. It's about what you know based upon what you can actually prove.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is lean not to your own understanding. When they say you're going to heaven, that's an experience. That's an enjoyment. That's an experience of a higher enjoyment. Anybody can experience heaven before they pass. Anybody. You do not have to pass in order to experience heaven. The place that you go. Listen to how they got it set up. You're going to heaven or hell, depending on how you are. You're going to be prejudged by, the God, right? God say, all right, look, nah, you ain't been good. After y'all done said that God is a forgiving God, now he's going to determine at the end of your life cycle, all right, I'm going to open up that door. You go down there to hell. They say everybody could get second chances, right? I mean, it's so contradicting, but the whole point is this. Heaven can be experienced right here on earth, right here where you are based upon where you are mentally. That's the experience. When you dream, where you think you're going? You're going somewhere. I can't determine where you at, only you can. Certain dreams happen to you for certain reasons. It could be certain messages that you have to decode, just like the Bible, just like the Quran, just like the Torah. There's messages that you have to decode, and it comes in your dream. So if heaven is a place that you visit, they didn't say that you stay, they said that you visit, right? You take a number, sit down until your name is called, right? They say all that, right? The DMV do the same thing, right? I'm just saying, your name is called, right? Okay, so you step up, right? Getting checked in. But it's all about you. You know what you did in your past. They don't gotta look at your star. Well, such and such at December, blah, 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 you killed. It's not about that. It's about where you are mentally. It's about you having control. If you want to experience that type of enjoyment, where you're making yourself go as high as possible, whatever that is, because there's no limit, that's when heaven arises.
Yeah.
That's when you on that plane. You could experience it with your friends and family members, or you could experience it by yourself. It's like you on a ride and it's constantly going up. You rising. Because think about it. Based off of them saying that you had to pass in order to experience heaven, how could they determine that heaven is real? Somebody came back and told them, hey, write this down. I visited heaven. Man, it looked like this. I'm just saying. The only way they're going to know that heaven is real is if they experience it in real time.
Yep.
That's the only way. And you make your heaven out to what it can be. It's all in how you want it. That's a very good dream to have. Again, it's an experience, and the best way to experience it is outer body. You usually go through that when you're dreaming. Dang, you going too far now. Well, how else you going to experience it? Again, it's a mental thing. And then some of those, y'all remember they said when you made in his image, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's not a his or her. It's both really. It's both really. Male and female. Gods. In human form. But the spirit works the same. And anything that's living. Or soul, whatever you want to call it, spirit or soul. It's still the same. But you want to be the God of you. The reason why is because you want to be in control of you. Of course, you could, reach out for assistance from spirits greater than yours. There is a greater spirit, but that doesn't mean that you worship it. It's not there to worship. It's there to, again, they said, let your conscience be your guide. It's there to guide you.
Right.
That's the part of religion they twisted up because they wanted to separate the people. Religion, it's just a twist on spirituality. That's all religion is. And they want you to do it, their traditional beliefs. They want you to participate religiously, to simplify it. But this is the reason why I normally don't talk down on particular people that has a religious background.
Yeah.
Because it's not about that. It's not about talking down about it and talking down about them. It's more so giving them a better perspective on things. Because if they willing to listen to a preacher, then they willing to listen. They may turn their nose up. Again, they could agree to disagree, but sooner or later, it'll click. That's how I look at it. Everybody wakes up at different times. I just continue to be their alarm clock. But you got to be in control of yourself. You got to be the God that God wanted you to be.
Right. Okay.
And I'm sure, again, and I'm going to state this, right now, that particular portion right there, I'm sure that probably did piss some people off or whatever because of their religious belief. And it's not about that. I'm going to state that one more time. It's really not. You could agree to disagree, but I'm all about you. I'm all for you. And of course, I would love for you to be one with yourself. That's what that entire part was about. Giving you a better perspective, a broader perspective on how things are supposed to be going with you when you're in control. But, yeah, and again, you could push religion to the side with that. You just get involved with yourself, your spirit, spirituality. You carry your own traditions at that point. But yeah, as far as this, it's still ongoing. As far as the so-called, they want to call it the global tech outage, global outage, and that is a negative affirmation, like how I stated yesterday in that recording that you heard. I don't agree with stating that or chanting that, okay? But it is still ongoing. There's a lot more outages that did happen. We're able to communicate, which is great, but I just want people to be prepared because we don't know. You understand what I'm saying? We can't predict the future. We can only state what we see, but what's going on right now. We can only, as far as investigating certain other things, like I mentioned during that recording, yes, I did bring up their agenda 2030 or agenda 21 rather. And I was coming from the UN. Like they straight up said what they wanted to do. And they were affecting all of it, try to, in hopes of them, they want to depopulate. That's what their agenda was. And they doing it in more ways than just one. I want to stop that. So I think awareness is the best way to do it. Because if you make everybody else aware that they have control of themselves, then we'll have control over all these other entities that is working against us. And yes, this is a spiritual war. This is spiritual warfare. That's the reason why I had to encourage people that way, the way that I did it during that recording. That's the way it's going to work individually. Now, is that my belief? That is my belief. That is. And again, you have the right to disagree. But that don't mean that we should be enemies because you disagree. Notice how that's what I was bringing up as well, because all of that time that's going on and, our previous race riots out here in the US and those race riots going on out there in the UK, it's all division happening. And agreeing to disagree is becoming obsolete daily, unfortunately. Don't let them control society. But it starts with you. You don't let them control you. They won't be able to control society if everybody think alike on that note, or everybody do the same on that note. It wouldn't be nothing for them to control. In fact, they wouldn't even exist anymore. That's what I'm about. Take it how you want to take it. I just wanted to, and I didn't go live on this yesterday because I wanted to gather up more information. And that's what I was saying during that pre-record right there, because I did that inside of the 13% community server. Shout out to the 13% community server members. Shout out to all the 13%, man. I appreciate that, showing all the love like that. And shout out to you, those of you that came to watch, showing the love. Those of you that were commenting, clicking the like button. You know what I mean? Sharing it with your friends and family members. I appreciate all of that. So I probably will pick back up most likely tomorrow. Let me see. It depends on the date. Yeah, probably tomorrow. We'll see how we're going to do it. Because it is some other things I wanted to get into. That's going to be correlating with this topic, but not necessarily on that same subject. But it is on the same subject of what I'm talking about as far as what these so-called elites, whatever y'all want to call them. I can't stand saying those type of things. Them folks ain't elite. We could put a plug from that light switch at any time. God is Wild Red. Thank you for being a member for 9 months in a row. She said feathers up, aka frequency up, fam. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Carchery, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you for becoming a member. And Bando Rando, thank you for the donation as well. He said OCO. I appreciate that. He or she said OCO.
OCO, freethinkers.
I appreciate that. Keep in mind, on my side, I can't see the face. They're not showing me the face, so I can't tell if that's male or female, but I appreciate you. I appreciate that. Ghost, thank you once again. He did say set it on fire.
Set it on fire. Fire.
And Lucky,
fire,
thank you, sister, for becoming a member as well. So I'm going to see y'all folk tomorrow. I'm going to end it like that because it is late, and I ain't trying to hold y'all. Y'all take care. Why don't?
I'm just here to make you think.
Slow down.